Is any purpose ever right now? If you have a purpose, is the purpose ever about something immediate? Is it? In fact, the mightier the purpose is, the more advanced it is in the future. You have to grow into something. You have to become something. You have to transform. You have to progress in order to fulfill that purpose. And all of that takes time. Right? If waiting does not feel good, as most of us said, can a life of purpose then feel good? Because if purpose means stretching something important into the future, then purpose implies continuous waiting. Would a life of purpose be ever then a contented life? You see this. Also see that we have been indoctrinated into thinking that we should have great purposes. Somebody once said that it's not a folly to fail, but it's a folly to have small goals. So you should have great goals. You must have heard of things like these. But do remember that the greater the goal is, the more difficult it is to achieve. I mean, that is how we define the greatness of the goal. Is that not the definition of the greatness? When I was in the corporate, there was a project. It was called BHAG. Big, hairy, audacious goal. And only then it is worthy. It has to be big, hairy, HAIRRY, not hairy. Audacious goal. If the goal is as simple and obvious as picking this up and sipping some water, then we won't even call it a goal, right? The goal has to be like, I'll win over the next galaxy. At least this much. Come on. So, the minimum of ambition that you must have. So the greater your goal is, the smaller you are in comparison to the goal. Okay? Does that not imply that in order to have a great goal, first of all, you'll have to be very small? And what does then that imply about the waiting time? Why then do we teach our kids to have great goals? Come on, we need to. We are not just talking rhetoric here. This is life. Why do you have great dreams? Why do so-called best speeches of the century often begin with, I have a great dream? Why? Why is mankind so intent upon belittling itself? Why this tremendous self-contempt?
To get happiness in the world.
And get sadness? Come on, complete the sentence. Happiness in the end, and the end is, of course, it's a great goal. So the end is far. Next galaxy, remember. And if the happiness is in the end, then that's the ABC of duality. That's why seeing duality in action in daily life is so important. Still, it won't matter much. Most of us would continue to parrot the immensity of their goals. Still, most of us would continue to scoff at those who say that they either don't have goals or have very small goals or are unclear about their goals. It sounds like such a waste of life, no? You have no goals. In the last camp, there was one lady. She's on a sabbatical. So somebody asked her, what do you do all day? You know that. She says, I get up, I cook breakfast for myself, then I eat my breakfast, then I read the newspaper, then I do some daily chores, then I cook my lunch, then I eat my lunch, then I take my bath, then I soak in some sun, then I read a little. And the questioner was still waiting for the big thing to come.
We are waiting for the big thing to come.
That small 50-second conversation was almost like waiting for Godot. She is intensely, completely going through her response. And the fellow is not even conscious that this is it. There is nothing greater than this in her life. And she is very alright with it. She does not need any great purpose to become any greater lady. He was waiting, still waiting, alright. When would she begin working? At 5 p.m.? No, 5 p.m. she says she goes out for a walk. 7 p.m. she says she sits and watches some television. 9 p.m. does she work at night? 11, this must be the time. Finally she says, then I go to sleep. And he's like, what? Where is the purpose then? What do you do? And she's like, this is what I do. He still is incredulous. So what do you do? Do you see how all our doing is purposeful? Do you see how if we are not productive, we don't even call it doing? Do you see how playfulness has been totally rejected by a goal-driven mind? Do you see that we just can't just act? We have to have a purpose. We can't just simply act. There needs to be a motivation, a greed, a desire. We can't just move, we can't just dance. There needs to be a destination to reach. Is that pretty?
Is it necessary to have a goal, have a dream? So suppose someone is happy doing what he is doing. Someone is doing a job and he is earning money and he is living his life and he is happy in that. And if we don't call earning money a goal, so accept that. He's okay with it. So is it wrong to?
See, you already know the answer, right? Most probably you are that person you're talking of. Or that fellow is somebody quite close to you. You already know and you already are convinced that that's the way to go about life.
I'm
Otherwise,
thinking about someone, who is living this kind of life.
yes, of course. So you already know. Are you full of contempt for that person?
I guess.
Oh my God. And you are full of contempt towards yourself because you don't like that person?
I don't hate that person. I don't like that person.
How can you dislike someone who is floating about like a butterfly? Butterflies keep floating about. What purpose do you see there? All they have is a certain weightlessness. We flit, they fly. The only decider is, are you all right with it? And when I say you, I mean you with a capital Y, the real you. If you are all right with it, who is anybody to pass a judgment? Are you all right? And if others are to pass judgment on such intimate matters as life, then why shouldn't others pass judgment on relatively trivial matters as love? If you allow others to dictate life, have you also not allowed others to dictate your inner sanctum sanctorum? Have you not allowed them to dictate your God, your religion, your mind, the very movement of your consciousness? The ways of your love, have you not allowed them? I thought such a person would inspire. He would remind you of something that you might be missing in your life. Again, when I use the word inspire, I need to clarify. When I say inspire, I do not mean imitation. Inspiration means he reminds you of something about you. That does not mean that he makes himself an imposition upon you. You see the difference between these two, right? To inspire and to impose. If you do not like that person, I'm pretty sure you are not very confident about not liking him. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking this question. Who can dislike a wave? It rises, it falls, it disappears. It does not receive any Nobel Prize. You ask her, what did you achieve? She will say, this question is not in my language. You must ask me a wavy question. Even the mosquito that is buzzing around your ears. You may ask your friend Buzzy. He really does not have a purpose. His stomach may have a purpose. It wants your blood. Otherwise, coolly, silently, just sitting. Just sitting. Try to meditate upon a sitting mosquito. No, don't just grin. It's serious business. Position yourself in a way that does not disturb the saint. And with great respect and devotion, Observe him or her and don't bother whether it's him or her. Ever seen a cow relaxing? Or a pig? Ever seen a man relaxing? Man cannot relax because he has purpose. If you can watch a cow relax, you'll learn so much. Even animals that are being abused by human beings. We saw some mules being abused by humans near Rishikesh last camp. The mules, in spite of all their physical hardships, were more at peace. Why? Because they were not keeping time. The man behind them, the exploiter behind them, had a purpose. The purpose was to reach on time and make some bucks. So even though the mules are carrying all the physical load, the man is carrying all the mental load. And the man's load, I assure you, was far heavier. The mules, in spite of all that their legs were bearing, were composed in their faces. The man, in spite of driving other creatures, was tensed, frustrated, annoyed.
Sleeping is a kind of relaxation, right?
We don't even relax in sleep. And if sleeping is the only relaxation that is available to us, then we are very, very poor relaxers. Then you relax at most for 8 hours a day. And that's not at all a fair deal, to relax for 8 hours and be mired in tension for the remaining. Please do the math. 16. For the majority of human beings, sleeping is about the only relaxation available to them. And that too, in a very limited way. This relaxation is not at all a relaxation, it's an escape. We sleep only to return to our usual life of tension. Real relaxation is about relaxing even in the middle of activity. You are relaxed even as you exert yourselves. You are relaxed even as you are running. You are relaxed even as you are drained out. You are not waiting for a special activity like going to bed or like sitting in meditation. You are not saying, I'll relax when I sit to meditate, or I'll relax when I'll be there with my friend. You are relaxed. You are just relaxed. You are relaxed and then you may do whatever you want to do. So relaxation is one continuous presence. Relaxation is one non-negotiable. Relaxation is one indispensable. And on the bedrock of relaxation, you may go ahead and do whatever you want to do. You may even get terribly tired in a relaxed way. You may live relaxed, you may die relaxed. You may even exhibit great stress and tension while being really relaxed. It's possible. That tension then has a different quality. Yeah. The great purpose is already settled. The mission is already complete. And after the mission is complete, there is the party. After the great success, the successful one has thrown a great universal party. That party is called life. Life is not about toiling to achieve. The achievement has already happened. The achievement is truly behind you. Life is the party after the achievement. You are here to celebrate. You are not here to achieve. You are here to express your success, not to succeed any further. Express your success, that's a worthy goal. If you really insist on having a purpose, then here it is. Express your success. Express your fullness. Express your essence. Beyond that, no goal is needed. In fact, no goal is possible. Express. And in expression, you don't need to wait. Or do you? To achieve, you would need to wait. To express, you don't need to. Whatever be the situation, you can express yourself in your own way. You want to dance, you can dance in the hall, you can dance in the bus, you can dance in the elevator, you can dance in the washroom. This morning I caught a few of our guys dancing on the terrace. And if you fall asleep here, where most of us do, you will find the rabbits dancing on your chest. You can dance anywhere. But you can't call yourself an achiever anytime. To achieve, you will say, I require time. And that would mean an unnecessary procrastination. That would mean that you have to live in the misery of waiting. Expression is immediate, spontaneous, conditionless. Achievement requires a set of conditions to be fulfilled, a set of boxes to be ticked. Now you can call yourself an achiever, right? Do you have the right degrees now? Do you have the right jobs? The right house? The right money? The right fame? Only then you can call yourself an achiever. Expression requires no boxes to be ticked. Dance your heart out. Dance right now.
I'm a little confused about expression and purpose. It seems to be very...
Expression does not require anything to be added to you. Expression does not begin from a point of incompletion. Expression does not say that something critical remains unfulfilled. Expression has no do's and don'ts. Expression has no set path. And as we said, expression requires no particular boxes to be ticked. This is how you can differentiate expression from achievement. Expression does not castigate failure as catastrophic. In the process of achievement, failure is a catastrophe. If you are just expressing yourself, then failure at a deeper level is just the same as success. But a mind that is running after achievement can never take failure as success. For him, success is greatly prized, and if success is prized, then failure will be despised. The mind that is just expressing does not put a price upon success, so he also does not despise failure. It is not as if he is intent upon failing. But if he fails, he is alright with the failure. And if he succeeds, he does not get bloated up. He is alright with the success also. Most of us can digest neither failure nor even success. We get indigestion in both the cases. If we fail, we starve. If we succeed, then we overeat and get dysentery. We do not know what is worse, starving or dying of dysentery. This is success and failure to us. It's extremely important to figure this out, the difference between just expressing versus running after something. Because acting any way we all are, life is about action, and action will involve something that is getting done. You need to closely figure out whether you have put just too much stake in doing. If you have put a lot of stake in the result of the action, then it is a clear indication that you are not expressing, you are trying to achieve. The one who is expressing would not have too much invested in the action. He would act. But he would not say that if the results do not go my way, then I am devastated. He would want the results to go his way. It's not as if he would act against himself. He would want the results to go his way, but if they do not go his way, he will, oh, all right, fine, it didn't happen. Maybe something better is about to come. It's funny, it didn't go my way. It didn't go my way again? Really? And equally, it really did go my way. Are you kidding me? So, all is okay. That is the hallmark of expression. All is okay. Be it this or that, all is okay. So do you see how dualistic the whole process of waiting is? When you are waiting for the session to commence, then you are waiting for it to start. Now some of us are waiting for it to stop. So,
No, for a break.
That's the thing with boredom. It's looking for some object. We have been taught to remain excited.
The highs.
For the highs. And to experience the highs, first of all, there must be a background of the lows. So you must start feeling bored at some point or the other, so that the next opportunity for excitement can present itself. After this, something else to be excited about. A couple of hours before, there was the excitement of entering a new session. What's it going to be about? What would this say? Oh, play. Something exciting. Now, what's cooked at home tonight? What's happening? What's up? What happened in the TV soap? Have I received a few more emails? And he was about to WhatsApp me. Did he? We need boredom because we have been taught to value excitement. We need boredom. Boredom is a value of this modern society. A culture that prizes excitement would also be necessitating, not only necessitating, ensuring boredom in several hidden ways. And they are not so very hidden also. If you just look at them, they present themselves. Don't you have TV ads that remind you that you must get bored of your old car? Yeah? Don't you have the fashion industry where stuff must change every season? And you are reminded that what you are wearing is so very 2014. It used to be like this in Hollywood. When two actresses would meet each other. Like, still with your first husband?
Market में दिन नए आ गए. Just still stuck with the old one.
Not moving on in life, really. When an actress was filing for her 18th or 19th divorce, the judge actually advised her to spend more than 2 hours in courtship. That was one of the questions he asked. How long did you take to decide to marry him? He was asking, how long was your relationship before you decided to marry him? She said 2 hours. And that was a trend. Sometimes a week, sometimes 2 days. So the advice was, and that was a written advice, you must take more than 2 hours in deciding about your next husband. So frequently bored are we. We must cling to something that comes next. And to cling to something next, we must be definitely bored of what is there right now. This boredom finds its expression in many, many ways. You'd ask the other to become somebody else.
The parties, the alcohol, the
Party,
entertainment,
alcohol.
relationship, everything.
All the jazz.
Result of boredom.
Yes.